So here's the thing you got to really understand about this, is that life is hard. No matter how you slice it, life is hard. Sometimes it's just really, really hard. And that's life. But life is also magical. It can be extraordinary, with the caveat that it will never be magical or extraordinary to you if all you do in life is play video games, watch TV, click around on the internet, hang around with your friends, and go to work at McDonald's. You're not gonna tap into any of the magic of life if that's the kind of life that you're trying to lead. Not possible. You're only gonna get from life what you put into it. So if you haven't been getting the thing that is making you feel passionate about life, making you feel energized every time you wake up in the morning, making you feel like life is magical and amazing and you're so thankful for it and you're so grateful for it and you love it and you see the beauty of it, you see the profundity of it, and it just completely blows you away. If that's not your life, that's because you simply haven't put in what is necessary to be put in to get that out of life. This is not an accident thing. This is not that some people are lucky to have that and other people are not lucky to have that. No, it's all about what are you putting in? And you might think like, well, but I am putting in, I'm going to work and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. No, you're not putting in nearly enough. You have to put your whole soul into your life. It's not life that's supposed to give you your soul. You put your soul into your life, and then your life will reflect the soul and passion and dedication and spirit that you put into it. You have to infuse your life with spirit. It certainly won't do that for you. The way that our society is structured, you have to understand, is that it's extremely low consciousness. It targets the most gross materialistic levels of life. It covers the lowest common denominator in society, which is utter mediocrity, with no magic to it whatsoever. It's people leading lives of quiet desperation, and many times loud desperation. So that's what you'll get as the default if you don't do something different. And the problem here is that our society has become so easy these days, and you've been growing up for the last 10, 20, 30 years of your life sucking on society's tit. You're completely disconnected from real survival. You don't appreciate it at all because our society masks and hides that entire process. And in exchange, what you do is you go to work at McDonald's from 9 to 5. But then your life becomes that. It becomes this mind-numbing factory work. And you're completely disconnected from how that connects to actual survival. You don't even realize that life is this constant process of fighting for the chance just to breathe, just to wake up every morning. This is an act of survival. This is not something to be taken for granted. Animals who live in the wild, or human beings who live in the wild, they are deeply connected to nature. They are deeply connected to this process of survival. And this is extremely important because otherwise what happens, you get very soft, you get very lazy, and you start to just expect society to give you stuff. It's the exact same problem that you see with rich kids who are the children of millionaires and billionaires, and they just get giant estates, the sort of Paris Hiltons of the world. And I mean, she's actually become sort of successful, but there are many people like her who have no success whatsoever because all they do is they just live off the money. And it might seem like that's a great thing, but actually, see, it's paradoxical and counterintuitive because the human being is a creature who actually degrades from lack of challenge and lack of work. See, when you're really faced with true survival, your life is on the line, and everything becomes very serious all of a sudden. There's no room for being lazy, slacking off, laying on the couch, watching marathons of TV shows and clicking around on the internet. There's none of that kind of shit. Life and death have a way of cutting all that kind of crap out of your life and making things very simple and very stark. And then all of a sudden you're engaged. You see, you got to be engaged with life. That's the biggest thing that people are missing these days, is that engagement, because they're so complacent. What needs to happen for you to get serious about self-actualization is that you need to take your own life back into your own hands. And you need to get back in touch with that element of survival. And maybe what that means for you is you actually go out and you spend a week living in the Canadian tundra and you see what that's like. Or you don't need to do that. Maybe you start your own business or whatever. Maybe you don't even start your own business, but at the very least you seize control back. And there's a certain kind of seriousness that comes with that. It's like, I'm not fucking around with my life anymore the way I used to. Because when you're fucking around with your life, you're playing video games, you're eating bad food, you're being lazy, you're just kind of like going with the flow. And here you say, no, I want to live a kind of life where I challenge myself. Even when there's no direct need for me to challenge myself, I recognize that the best kind of life that I can live is one in which I'm really connected with my survival every single day.